Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Today we're going to be going over a new law that came out that Don't stop doing that to the mic stand, girl. Today we're going to be going over a new law that came out and why it is that You fucking serious? Blackberry, God, stop that shit. Today we're going to be going over a new law that came out, why I support it, and why it is one of the. Why are you standing in front of my screen, huh? Why can't you be like Clinton? He behaves. Today we're going to be going over a new law and why it is that I support this law and why I really think this should be a thing come federally in the United States. Most likely won't be for obvious reasons. This is a page from a textbook manufacturer, a company that produces educational content and materials. This is from VitalSource. See a California disclosure support page. To comply with this new disclosure law about false advertising and digital goods, they are going to make a licensing disclosure here. Lifetime, typically meaning 5 years of online access and permanent download to a supported device. Licenses are not transferable. When you purchase a digital product, you are licensing it for a set duration as specified in the product duration. Products labeled as lifetime typically mean 5 years of online access and permanent downloads to a supported device. You will have access to the product on our platform for typically 5 years, not even 5 years, typically 5 years. You may permanently download the product to a supported device. Support for downloaded files is tied to compatibility with VitalSource supported devices and platforms at the time of download. When purchasing a digital product, you can download it to use on a supported device. Downloads will function so long as VitalSource supports the device. That means if a device or operating system loses compatibility with VitalSource products due to updates or obsolescence, your downloaded product may no longer work as intended. So what is this saying here? Firstly, when you purchase something with a lifetime license, that actually means 5 years. Secondly, that typically means 5 years, the typically being the word that completely undoes everything else. Most of our products may be 5 years, this one may be 3 weeks. Who the hell knows? And three, they are redefining the word lifetime to mean something else. Even cicadas live longer than this, if you count the time that they spend on the ground doing nothing. This is bullshit. The average person who looks at something that says lifetime believes it to mean one of two things: until I die or until the company goes bankrupt. That's it. That's what lifetime means. And I'm sick and tired of companies that believe that they have the ability to redefine words to try and trick people into believing that something is something that it is not. For instance, this is something that Sony has done, and I've pointed out on many occasions. Sony did this nonsense where, Blackberry, you gotta stop standing in front of my screen, girl. Yo, stop that shit. Sony did this thing recently where they had this sent out to customers. As of December 31st, 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. We sincerely thank you for your continued support. Thank you, PlayStation Store. And my translation, aka, fuck you, you have no rights or a refund to what you bought and paid for after we take it from you. Now, it did say purchased content, and it did say purchase on the product page at the time. So why are they able to do this? Because they've redefined what the word purchase means. Use of words like own, ownership, purchase, sale, sold, sell, rent, or buy in this agreement does not mean or imply transfer of ownership of any content or blah, blah, blah. It's funny because the word purchase has meant something for about 600 years at this point. This was defined in the 14th fucking century. The purchase is an action of obtaining something in exchange for payment of money or an equivalent, buying, now the usual sense. Or to acquire in exchange for payment in money or an equivalent, to buy, now the usual sense. That's what purchase meant. But apparently, now it means something else. There are enough scams when it comes to higher education. Higher education was a scam in 2007 when you'd have to buy a new textbook every single year, as if 16th century history or calculus has changed that much, because they've done nothing but rearrange the order of the questions and answers, meaning you get every one of your homework questions wrong if you didn't buy the new book. Or now, I went to Austin Community College recently. Trust me, that shit is still a scam. And you have stuff like this, where there's no money to be made in reprinting the same textbook over and over again, because you can buy a used textbook and be good. So the way that this company remains relevant, rather than creating new and innovative learning materials and new ways of interacting that allow it to be much easier for you to understand concepts, they do this type of bullshit where the only way that they're really able to continue making money is to make sure that what it is you bought and paid for does not work after they say it shouldn't work. And if you want, this is one of the things I like about this law in California. They've passed their own version of, if you're going to be the bitch, be the whole bitch. California AB 2426. You cannot use terms like lifetime or buy if the access to the content can be revoked or has a limited duration. And this is a great example because they market lifetime access, but what lifetime means to them is 5 years. This law requires companies to get explicit customer acknowledgement that they're receiving a limited license and not a transfer of ownership. And they have to clearly state up front when you're buying lifetime access that lifetime doesn't mean lifetime. I don't think that this bill goes far enough, to be honest with you. I think that if you're selling something with lifetime in purchase, and that does not mean lifetime or purchase by our definition, you should not even be allowed to use those words. I don't even want to see some sort of disclosure on a separate page that says that lifetime actually means this. I just don't think you should be allowed to use that word if it doesn't mean either the lifetime of myself or the lifetime of the company. You don't get to say that this thing is dead after 5 years and then magically that it lasts for a lifetime. However, I do believe California AB 2426 is a step in the right direction, and frankly, they're the only ones doing something like this. People will use these words to describe California, where they will use terms that tend to imply economic systems that do not respect property rights. You'll hear the socialist word, you'll hear the communist word get thrown around a lot. But how many states have actually passed a law that protects the rights of ownership, that makes sure that if a company uses the word purchase, own, lifetime, and they don't actually mean that they get smacked down? For all the crap California gets, there's no other state in the United States that has passed any sort of legislation that stops a company from advertising lifetime or purchase if what you're purchasing has a finite lifespan. And this is important. This is one of the fundamental concepts in property rights, is that when I buy something and I own it, that means you can't take it away from me. If California can get this, I'm not saying this to shit on your state. I'm saying this because frankly, if California is going to do it, why can't your state? Why can't it be done federally? I think it should. It should not be one state in the United States that is protecting the concept of property rights. It should be federal. It should be a law. It should be something that in every single state, if you say the word lifetime, but then you can take that away a few years later by revoking access to what I bought and paid for because it requires a cloud connection to work, that means it's not lifetime. If you want to say the word lifetime, that means you need to provide me with a patch so that your software does not have to connect to your servers anymore, so that I never have to worry about you having the ability to turn it off. That's what lifetime means. Anything else, and I should be able to sue you for using that word because of false advertising. I want to see every state in the United States do this. I want to see a federal version of AB 2426. I would love to hear who disagrees with this law as it is written. You don't count, BlackBerry. You're a cat. I think it's a good thing. I want to see more of this. The entire concept of law and in government originally was the concept of protecting property rights. This should be in every state. There's no excuse for this to not be in every state. And frankly, if your local state senate or your local state assembly does not want to support something like this, ask them to tell you why. Don't let them do that Andrew Ferguson bitch shit with the one-click cancel where they just dissent and it's like, I don't want to type out why I disagree with it. Demand an answer. You deserve one. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.